Hi guys, Brook Potter here. In this video, I'm going to be sharing the 5 things that I've used to greatly improve my sleep habits at night. Now, for anybody who knows, I've been on the carnivore diet, and on this carnivore diet, as I say, I'm about 90% carnivore. I don't need as much sleep as I used to, but nonetheless, I just on this experiment, I wasn't getting really deep sleep, from this whole experience. Now, I consulted with a nutrition. She's fully on board with my diet, by the way. All my blood work is checked out. So she gave me a number of suggestions on how I could go about improving my sleep. And with her advice, plus some of my own research and some trial and error, I've come up with 5 things that are effective for me. Now, I don't want to say that they're necessarily going to work for you, but, the truth and fact, many people don't really look into the issue of sleep. It doesn't hurt to be educated on these things and really do some research on it to see if you can find out ways to improve it. Apparently, good restful sleep is very well connected to longevity in life, so that's always encouraging. So the first thing that I have stumbled across that definitely helps me sleep is CBD oil. This is the extract from usually hemp plants, or it could be from cannabis as well, without the THC element, so you can't get high from it, and they produce the oil. I use about 10% off of an Amazon, just bought it off Amazon. My general reaction to CBD oil, so I put about 2 drops under my tongue at night, and boom, I just get relaxed, and I drift off to sleep. Now, the thing about CBD is that everybody's going to respond differently. I've got a friend out in Northern Ireland, and I put him onto CBD, and he had the completely opposite reaction, where he gets just a ton of energy. And he uses it to work late into the night with his artwork and his painting and sculpting and these other things. So it's not always the same thing. So my advice is, if you are considering taking CBD, maybe speak to one of the salespeople there and say that you specifically want it for the purposes of sleep and relaxation. And I think there's the indica and the sativa strains. I don't know if that applies in this case. I know that applies with marijuana. But yeah, just have the conversation with them and say that you want them something to help you relax. And for me, the CBD oil has definitely helped with that whole thing. The second thing I've used in my room is I actually have blackout curtains now. I realize, a lot of us have some electronics. Sometimes we have plugs and devices that are plugged on, and they got little lights on them, either the computer, the television, VCR, DVD player, whatever. And those lights can be very distracting. Even though it's not a lot of light, you'd be surprised that, those little lights, or even if you have your windows, without a curtain or some kind of covering, you got street lights and other things. By blacking out the room and turning off all of the lights and really getting into like complete darkness, I have seen that has also greatly improved my sleep patterns. It's actually quite telling, just having that darkness there. Now, I've never had blackout curtains before. This is the first time I'm using them, and I have to say, this is pretty impressive. The room really does get very dark. But on that point, it's about reducing the amount of ambient light in the room, even if you got to unplug something, whatever the case might be. So that has definitely improved my sleep habits. Beyond that, there's a whole bunch of studies that have come out concerning the issue of blue light. You get that from your cell phone, from your electronics. I'm probably receiving some of that right now from the computer monitor that I'm sitting in front of. Now, of course, I do wear the blue light glasses that I think cuts out about 70% of it. But there's something, all the hype around the blue light, it's not as detrimental as people are saying. It's not going to be like stabbing your eyes with sharp light or whatever nonsense. We get blue light when you step out into the sun. The sun naturally produces a wave of blue light, and it's part of the wake-up mechanism. When your brain starts to see the blue light, it jumps into that day-starting mechanism. And as a result of that, if you expose to it at later times in the night, either through the electronics, even the fluorescent bulbs, your brain is gonna think, well, this is still daylight, we need to be awake, and this other kind of thing. So from about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, sometimes later, I reduce all of the blue light. Well, if I'm at work, I wear the glasses. When I get into my room, I actually have red lights. So when I turn on the light switch, it's a remote control, so I can change the mood on the lighting, and I turn it to red light at night. So people probably looking in on the room through the window probably think I'm in a submarine or something. Thanks for the blackout curtains. That definitely probably helps with this speculation. And so I try to limit my exposure to fluorescent light before bed. I try not to be on the phone as much. And, well, I mean, the phone has a blue light filter on it. It comes on at that time automatically. So, yeah, that's definitely been something that has helped, in terms of getting that longevity of sleep and all these other kinds of things. Now, something that might be a little weird, something I didn't really believe, is actually something that I got called a grounding sheet, which is a very, very, very odd thing. This is probably going to sound very tinfoil hat, but I cannot deny that I use this. I think I got it from Rowland Grounding or something like that. And basically, it's a piece of fabric, obviously interwoven with some kind of conductive thread. You don't feel it. It just feels like a cotton sheet of some kind, and it plugs into a wall socket, but only connected to the ground wire. So it basically, whatever electrical impulses are coming from your body when you lie on this thing, apparently it's drained out through the ground wire of your house. And I kind of got it as an experiment. This is one of the things I was just kind of experimenting with to see if it would actually make a difference, and I was actually quite surprised that the first couple of times I tried it, it's like, is this the placebo effect? Like, no, not really. And I'd take the sheet off, try it and sleep another night. It's like, what the hell is going on? And it's only when I tried it for a couple weeks, I bought one for another friend of mine who's also quite skeptical. He is a skeptical gentleman. I got one for him because he's also been struggling with sleep, and we've been kind of doing these experiments together. And he said it actually seemed to improve his sleep patterns as well. Now, I know that sounds very weird and very woo-woo. I don't fully understand it, but in combination with everything else, it has stepped up my sleep. I tried it on its own a couple times, and not as good, but yeah, definitely an improvement. I don't know what that is. I don't know what the science behind that is. I'll put a link in the description below to the company. Now, I'm in the UK. This company's in the UK. I'm sure they have US and European equivalents. You can look it up. I don't fully get it. I thought it was a kind of harebrained sort of thing, but if it helps me sleep and I'm sleeping better, I'd be lying to say it did not seem to do something. So with that, the last thing I use is a white noise generator. I have an app on my phone. I think it's called Delta Wave. And the white noise is basically used to form a kind of distraction. So it's usually like, it could sound like rain or waves or even the wind and these different types of things. And it causes a distraction. It distracts you from some of the other noises that are knocking around that might, keep you from sleeping. As well, it creates a monotone pattern that you could focus on that helps you relax and, get into those deeper forms of sleep. I've heard some interesting studies about, using delta waves and alpha waves and beta waves and all these different, and delta waves is like, it helps you get into really deep sleep. So again, I don't fully understand it, but it does help me relax at the end of the evening. I set the phone app on. I run the delta noise for about 2, maybe 3 hours, put it above my headboard, just above my head. So it's not too loud, but it's noticeable. And that definitely has helped me relax, going into the evening and slip into sleep a lot easier. And I think it also helped me get much deeper sleep. Now, I know there are more advanced programs out there, some that kind of, you put it on your phone, it measures your movement and on the bed and stuff like that. And when you're most at sleep, it'll then turn on and give you the delta wave sounds to help you get into like a really deep sleep. And I'm not going to go all that far, maybe at some later point. Right now, I'm doing pretty well with the things that I'm using. And so, yeah, guys, those are the 5 things that I've been using to help improve my sleep. As I say, if sleep is really connected to longevity, it really is something very important. And I've learned to really listen to my body. Many of you know I usually get up at about 5 a.m. and I try to hit the gym in the morning. But a couple of times, like I would feel it that I need to get a little more sleep. And, I would just sleep in, to get the rest that I need. So I try to be very attuned and very sensitive to what I think my body needs. So guys, that's my video. I hope you enjoyed that. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. I'll put links to a couple of the things that I've been using. And again, these aren't affiliate links. I don't make any money off of this, so you don't need to worry. You can shop around as much as you want. So yeah, guys, that's it. Thanks as always for watching. And if you disagree or you have other suggestions, please leave some comments below. Always open to having the discussion. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.